Hi all, welcome to the Marquee Matchups for the 6th of January, 1st of 2017, and hopefully a successful run this week. Sadly didn't have a great success with only 2 out of the 4, but nonetheless, hopefully back to normal service this week. So if you can smash likes, be awesome, sub to the channel if you're new, follow me on Twitter at GSLegend. All the links are down below for playlists on the channel and social media links. So plenty of games to cover this week, hopefully get some success. First route is Adelaide versus Melbourne victory. This for me looks a very likely route. I've given it a 7 out of 10, and due to the nature of the games running around, I would say this could be a good shout. Expect one from each team, or going Adelaide and Melbourne victory, like just the one, so either team counts. 11 from the league, 5 nations minimum, 100 km, anywhere between 95 to 100 km. This team's quite easy enough to put to 100 km, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. 65 to 70 rating, and current costs between 2 to 5k, and the reward would probably be about the same. But I've got plenty of players in the club I can use just to kind of swap it around and get the 100 km. It's not exactly going to be a hard challenge to do, but it would be a very likely route, I would say. Spurs versus Chelsea. This is more likely to be this week. A lot of people were investing in this route thinking it was for this week, but remember this is a 4th of January fixture, so it kind of falls into next week's bracket. But I would say 1 player from each team, 11 players exactly from the Premier League. 6 nations should be most likely minimum for this, wouldn't be too difficult to do. 79 to 80 rated would probably be your minimum rating, I would assume. In terms of current cost, between 5 to 8k. Even the non-rare gold are selling for like 500-600 coins just now, so it's quite interesting to note. And obviously this is because of like the double guarantees and other SBCs that are out. You can use non-rares kind of into them. Reward probably be about the same, 5 to 7, and in terms of likelihood this is probably a 9 out of 10. This game should be in, it's like the second biggest London derby apparently, so that in itself should kind of merit next week. Sheffield Wednesday Huddersfield, this could fall into the bracket for next week. Apparently both teams are in the Yorkshire district, so that's kind of why I've put it in. 11 players from the league should be likely. 1 player is probably all you need from either team, so not too heavily to be prepared. 6 nations minimum, not too difficult. 100 km, 72 rating, 72, 73 rating. 46k is roughly what this costs just now, so not too cheap, not too expensive. 5 to 7k for a decent reward, and a likelihood, I'll give it a 6. Could be a 5 or a 6, but it's fair enough and easy enough to do. So it would be a likely route for an EFL game, but of course there's still plenty of other routes to kind of keep yourself in mind for next week. But still good rewards nonetheless for that game. QPR Reading, London Derby, kind of a less likely route, but still this could be one of these ones because Reading are third and fighting to get promoted this season. It could be a likely shout, so that could bump up the likelihood, but I still feel 4 out of 10 is likely. 46k is roughly what it will cost just now, just going on the basis of the silvers and the golds. 5 to 7k, 70 to 72 rating overall, maybe even 73 a push. 6 nations wins, still not too difficult. Same rules apply, 1 player from either team, so it's not going to make it too difficult and doesn't kill the prices too much. And all 11 players exactly from the championship. But 1000 coins jumbo gold pack could be a potential reward, but they don't seem to be giving coin rewards as much now. It just seems to be solely be the packs. But still, you've got to keep yourself kind of assuming that packs and coins might be given as a reward. So still quite a useful marquee matchup if it was to occur. Millwall Charlton, this just happened recently, but this is like the return fixtures that were, and it wasn't put in a couple of weeks ago, and going on that basis I would imagine it's not going to be put in again, but still got to mention it of course guys. 3 out of 10 is what this will get as a likelihood. 3 to 5k would be a reward for silver players and 1000 coins, because silver players pack generally pays out quite well, so, and if you get a good silver player, usually at least 1 decent that sells, so that's kind of why it's a decent-ish reward. 2 to 4k is what this costs just now. The non-rares are like 150, 200, and the rares are obviously 250, 300 depending on what rating. 4 nations minimum, 1 player from either team, 11 from the league exactly, and a 67 rating overall, so you're well covered and simple enough to do. Lane Orient Barnet, kind of nor less likely route. Both teams aren't doing too great in League 2 currently, and I would kind of assume they'll not kind of go for it, but seem to be going for the League 2 routes just now that crop up, and this could be a potential route. 3 to 10 though, of course, 3 to 5k reward and 2 to 4k in terms of current cost. Also worth noting that every player in this team could easily cost 150, and then you're not really spending a great deal of coins. So plenty of silvers, plenty of bronzes you can throw in, and you'd be well covered. They might not even do an overall rating requirement. They seem to be trying to make them super easy just now, and this could kind of fall into that bracket yet again to keep the cost cheap for an easy reward. And the last route is going to be an FA Cup tie, and the one I have chosen just for this example is Preston versus Arsenal. One play from just either team, whichever you get. 75 rating overall minimum if they were to go for it. 3 to 5k reward with a 5 to 7k cost. In terms of this game being chosen, I would say is a 5 out of 10, but for an FA Cup tie in general for a third round, I would say it's more like a 6 or 7 out of 10. And as I've said in an earlier video, the FA Cup might have its own SBC, so therefore an FA Cup tie might not be thrown into the Marquee Matchups. However, I've still thought I'll cover at least a FA Cup tie for the SBCs, and I thought I'd mention it in this video just to keep yourselves covered in case you have forgotten. So if there's any other games that I may have missed for next week, let me know in the comments down below as usual, would be much appreciated. Take it easy, thanks for watching as always, smash the likes if you're new, follow me on Twitter at GLegends, leave a sub as well if you're new. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you all later for more FIFA 17 content.